Hello everybody, this is Cardella from Cardella.tk. Today I've been making some moccasins. So, as you can see, I've got some suede. I think it's about 5-ounce suede. Got it from the Tandy Leather Factory. I just spilled a glass of water there. Please forgive that. So the small pieces that I cut out in the first place are the tops of the moccasins. And this is the bottom of one of the moccasins. It's the left moccasin. The pattern took a while to develop. It's a pucker toe moccasin pattern. It fits my feet perfectly. So this suede cuts pretty easily with normal scissors, as long as they're sharp. It's been doing a number on making my scissors less sharp, though, so that's a little bit of a disappointment. But it's easier than using an X-Acto blade. What I'm doing here is I'm marking the suede around the edge that I need to stitch every quarter inch. It will later be punched every half inch to allow for the puckers in the toe region. And in this video, you'll see me do a lot of stuff twice. The video is sped up to 16 times normal speed to ensure that you guys don't sit here watching me do this for 3 hours. And in case you're interested, it took about 3 hours to make these. And that includes a stop to clean up the spilled water. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm punching the holes in the upper, and that little piece of leather underneath is just to make sure I don't blunt the crap out of my leather punch. And it's an old holster that didn't work out very well. I've got just a little diamond leather punch, and I've got a rubber mallet there to drive it in. I was marking the back of the suede with pen. Pencil doesn't show up very well. That seems to work pretty well for me. I also screwed up on the left moccasin, punching holes every quarter inch instead of half inch, but it doesn't damage the end too much. So here I'm doing a modified whip stitch with leather needles, and I've tried to punch the holes myself as you go. And it's just a terrible pain. You have to use a sailmaker's palm, which is a reinforced leather thimble, essentially, that sits on the palm of your hand to drive the needle through, and it's just painful if the needle slips or anything like that. So pre-punching the holes is definitely the way to go. And I'm using black artificial sinew on this one. Originally I was using waxed cotton thread to make moccasins, but it ends up sticking out from the puckers more. And I feel like the artificial sinew, after you get used to it, provides a better finished product. This modified whip stitch has one diagonal and then one loop. One diagonal stitch and a loop, and that loop locks the pucker in place. So it's a quite lengthy process, but it's very rewarding to see the moccasin come to life. As you can see in the left side, I've got another moccasin that I already finished. I put a high top on that to make it a short boot, and I really didn't like that. I improved the heel design in the moccasins I'm making right now. That was my specific goal for making more low-top moccasins. So here you can see I miscounted the number of holes by like 1 or 2, so I'm punching the appropriate number of holes and then tying knots and finishing it off. Oh, the puckering action ends up stopping about 2 inches from the last stitch also. Now, what I just did there is I marked where I want the heel to be I ended up using a little over 1.5 inch tab in the center of the back of the moccasins. And I'm marking where I want the overlap to stop, and then I'll fold that little tab at the back up. You really want your moccasins to fit tight when you first get them, otherwise they'll fit loose pretty soon after. Once again, I'm marking holes every 1/4 inch and then punching them. And I'm texting. So, if you've noticed, I've changed pants, and I also have more artificial sinew. I actually ran out the night before and had to go get some more. I have 2 rolls of sinew in the right side of the screen. The black stuff is what I'm using, but the natural color, I really would like to try to make some moccasins out of that. Everything but the heel you can pretty much make just based off the measurements of someone's foot. In my experience, the heel of the moccasin, you really just have to figure it out with the person trying the moccasin on. That's my best experience. And by no means am I an expert. I'm just a guy that's been trying to make these for a couple weeks. You'll see the binder clips I use sometimes to hold the suede together. Works like having a third hand. It's really great. I'd recommend it if you're sewing, leather, fabric, whatever. So you can see they fit well. Now what I'm doing is I'm trimming the tabs into sort of a rounded shape. I'm marking where I want to put my holes, and I'll fold them up and stitch them on. The heel design is not similar to modern running shoes or any type of shoes you've probably ever worn before, so it does feel strange on your heel, but it's the best way I've figured out how to make the heel. It's also somewhat of a traditional method, as far as I understand it. So there you go. They seem to fit pretty well. The last step I'm doing here is I'm punching holes with a leather punch, and I'll be using the lace in the corner. It's also leather to make laces. I found that the laces really they really add a bit of you can mess up, and it'll make the moccasin fit better, even if it's too loose. Once again, I'm using those binder clips. Very, very useful. and they seem to work pretty well. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please let me know in the comments. I'm doing this just for fun, so I really like to hear from people that enjoy my videos. And hit the subscribe button if you would too. Thanks.